the two primary responsibilities of any government are to keep the citizenry of that country safe and guarantee as much as they can that if you work hard, you'll be able to live a decent life. Over the past decade plus, the Liberal Party has sold Canada out every way, shape, or form. Our violent crime rates in Canada across the board are up essentially 100%. And these are directly due to Liberal policies, directly due to lax bail policies that are now finally being reformed after a decade of insanity of allowing criminals to run wild on the street. In court hearings, the onus was on the prosecution to prove why at a bail hearing the person should be kept in jail rather than reverse onus the way it should be. And as a result of this ridiculous policy, tens of thousands of crimes have been committed in Vancouver in the year 2024 alone. 150 criminals committed 6,000 offenses. This is a rate of about 150 offenses. An offense about every 2 days. And these people are just consistently let out on bail again and again and again. We have the horrific story of Daniel Senecal, who essayed a young child and then was sentenced to only 12 months in prison. And as soon as he got out, he essayed another 3-year-old. We have a rash of break-ins on our street. It used to be unheard of hearing about break-ins. Now every weekend you're hearing about multiple break-ins. Many Canadians that I know are making the determination that it's necessary for them to get a weapon. At the same time as the crime rates are skyrocketing, what does the government of Canada do? They say they're going to take all law-abiding Canadians' weaponry. Statistics show clearly that over 90% of crimes are committed by illegal weapons, not legally held weapons. So the idea that this is going to make the Canadian streets safer is undoubtedly false. It's just disarming the citizenry while at the same time they let criminals run wild. This is what you always see in communist countries. Criminals are allowed to roam free while political opponents of the party in charge are penalized for their ideology, which is exactly what we're seeing with Bill C-8 and Bill C-9. Bill C-8 would allow the federal government to remove any Canadian's internet service if it's in the so-called national security interest with no need to notify. How's it going, man? What's up, buddy? Without notifying anybody, they can cut your internet service, and it is illegal for you to complain or say anything about it. That is the end of free speech in Canada. If the government of Canada gets that capability, after this scandal-ridden Justin Trudeau tenure, where whether it be the SNC-Lavalin scandal, the We Charity scandal, the Green Slush Fund, he was the most unethical prime minister we've ever had. He should have undoubtedly been prosecuted in the SNC-Lavalin scandal, where it was clear as day that he interfered with Attorney General Jody Rayson-Wilbold into the scandal where SNC-Lavalin paid $49 million to Libya, and Trudeau got that investigation totally shut down. The Arrive Can app scandal, where an app was built for $500 million and it could have been created in about 3 hours. And those are just a couple of examples. It's clearly the most unethical government we've seen. And then he's replaced by a guy like Carney, who's just nakedly self-interested. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The people who are supposedly overseeing him ethically are two close friends of his. It's a total joke. Brookfield Asset Management stock price is up something like 45% since he was elected. Already signed 42 individual contracts with Brookfield Asset Management. Just openly corrupt. So there's no doubt that on the violent crime rates, this Canadian government has failed brutally. And then we look economically, and it's undoubted. The number of immigrants you allow in at this level, unprecedented, it's going to do great damage to the economy. This is not conjecture. This is data-based. It used to be everybody agreed on bringing in mass numbers of immigration hurt you economically until 15 years ago, when Liberals all of a sudden did a total 180 and said that it was a positive thing for the economy. And I don't think any Canadian who's out here thinks that the ridiculous number of immigrants we've let in has made our economy any better. Matter of fact, it's definitively made it worse. We've had, in a country as resource rich as Canada, we've had negative GDP per capita, which is considered the best measure of how your average citizen is doing. Negative GDP per capita for the past 6 consecutive quarters. Pure insanity. Pure insanity. The idea that GDP per capita would possibly be down for 6 consecutive quarters. And now Stellantis just announces that they're leaving for the US, and they were one of the biggest car manufacturers in all of Ontario. So Carney has undoubtedly failed by all measures. So he's selling us out economically. He knows exactly what he's doing economically. And at the same time, he's letting criminals roam free. We have to demand an election. We have to demand an election now. Write your MPs. The NDP, we need a vote of no confidence. We need these guys out here. They're looting the country and absolutely robbing us blind. Please like, share, subscribe, join, become a member. Really appreciate everyone who has become a member. Follow at youtube.com/@FightForCanada2025 if you're following on TikTok. Canadian Patriots need to fight back.